Hello everyone, my name is Natalie, and today I'm sharing with you another paranormal horror story that I found online, and this person would like to remain anonymous, but they did give me permission to share it, which I am absolutely excited about, because this is just one of those stories that makes you question your past and think about past experiences and, question, was that real? Was that made up? Did I hallucinate? And I don't want to give anything away, so I'm going to leave all my thoughts and comments to the end, but the story is called Nobody Believed Me, and I don't think anybody ever will. And I just want to say that I absolutely believe this person 100%, and I don't want to give anything away, so I'm going to go ahead and read the story to you guys, and then we'll talk about it at the end. I've had countless paranormal and spiritual experiences as a child, but this one has always stuck with me. 13 years ago, when I was around 6 or 7 years old, my mom, older sister, our little puppy, and I were living in my mom's boyfriend's apartment. The apartment had 3 rooms. The room on the far left was my sister's and mine. The room on the far right belonged to my mom and her boyfriend. The one in the middle, we called the middle room. We were told not to go into the middle room because it was the boyfriend's mom's room. I still remember her. She was very tall and slender, standing at least 6 feet tall. She looked to be in her 70s with gray, kinky hair. We didn't see her leave the middle room much, but when she did, she would play games with my sister and me. At first it was fun, and my older sister seemed to love her. But then, I would get a dreadful, uncomfortable feeling around her, so I tried to avoid her as much. I think she noticed because she started treating me differently, pinching me when no one was looking, pulling my hair, and scratching me. Whenever I told my mom, she wouldn't believe me, or would brush it off. To be honest, my mom wasn't the greatest parent. Even our little German Shepherd puppy didn't like her. He would bark and growl at her every time she came out of the room. My mom's boyfriend hated the barking and would argue with my mom about it. The fights got so bad that he eventually said to her, "The dog goes, or we all go." My mom gave the dog away. I still remember my sister and me crying as we said goodbye to Shiloh. One day, we didn't see the old lady at all. I asked my sister where she was, and she just shrugged and said maybe she doesn't feel like playing today. Then we went back to playing leapfrog. I was happy not to see her that day, and that night everyone went to bed as usual. But I woke up in the middle of the night because I needed to use the bathroom. The bathroom was right in front of the middle room, so I couldn't avoid passing by it. As I walked towards the bathroom, I noticed the door to the middle room was slightly ajar, with light spilling out into the hallway. I got that bad feeling again, but I still wanted to see what was inside. I peeked through the gap in the door, and what I saw would stay with me forever. The old lady was there, but her back was turned to me. She was twitching in a strange, unnatural way, and her skin was gray, like a corpse. She smelled terrible, like rotting flesh. I just stood there frozen. Suddenly, she turned her head towards me. Her eyes completely black. Her face looked gray, like it was decaying. I cried and ran back to my room, diving under the covers, praying she wouldn't come to the door. Thankfully, she didn't. I didn't sleep much that night, but eventually I dozed off when the sun came. When I woke up, my sister wasn't in the room, so I cautiously walked out, still terrified. I found everyone sitting in the kitchen eating breakfast, but the old lady wasn't there. I ran to my mom and told her everything I had seen. My mom's boyfriend gave her a look, and my mom looked angry and said, "Tiana, what are you talking about?" I started crying and pointed to her boyfriend and said, "Your mom." My mom popped me on the arm and yelled at me to apologize. I cried and threw a tantrum because they didn't believe me. Every time I explained it all over again, my mom's boyfriend would get madder and madder, and finally he stood up, took me by the arm, and dragged me to the middle room and opened the door. The room was empty. There was old clothes, old jewelry, old purses that looked like it belonged to an old lady. The room smelled of dust, like no one had been in it for a long time. He dragged me further into the room and pointed to a picture on top of the dresser. The picture was the boyfriend's mom, but she looked younger. Her hair was black and she had an afro. She was smiling. He said, "Look here, that's my mom. She died 15 years ago." I was so shocked and scared and started crying even more so. I was sent back to my room and put in timeout. No matter how many times I told the story, no one ever believed me. The nightmare started soon after, almost every night. I dream of her standing at the edge of my bed, laughing at me. Eventually, my mom and her boyfriend had a massive argument and broke up. We moved out and went to live with my grandma. Years later, when I was 11 and my sister was 13, I asked her if she remembered the old lady, our mom's ex-boyfriend's mom. To my surprise, she said she'd never seen an old lady back then. She admitted she only played along because she figured she was my imaginary friend. I did daydream a lot as a kid. Still, even now at 19, I know what I saw. And to this day, no one believes me. So I read that story and that absolutely gave me chills, because when I was younger, I used to live in a haunted house. And if you want to hear any stories about that, not much happened, but I could still make a video on it if people are interested. But it just made me think about my childhood experiences and thinking, were things that I thought were real, were they all just like a spirit? Was it a ghost? Like, did things actually happen? I can't really imagine how this person felt when they realized that, you know, this lady wasn't real. This lady had been dead for, 15 years. Like, they weren't even alive in the same time. Like, that is just so scary to me, to just think that she was dealing with something like supernatural or paranormal or anything of the sort like that. I'm curious to know what you guys think about the story. Do you think this was paranormal? Do you think this was an imagination? I 100% believe this person and believe their experiences. And I'm so grateful that they let me share this story with you guys. So let me know down below, what do you guys think, and what kind of stories would you like to hear next? I am thinking about doing a Sunday story time and posting bi-weekly. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep doing that or not, but as of right now, that's the plan. So if you guys enjoy these stories, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and again, let me know your thoughts, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!